Bonjour, dear friends, and welcome to JCB Live. We're very, very excited today to have two phenomenal professionals in the wine world. We're traveling to the world of Canada as we just released JCB Unity and are donating a lot of money to two organizations through the amazing Canadian Association of Professional Sommelier. We call it CAPS. So we have the beautiful Divya, welcome Divya, and the charming Domer. So both of them run in each of their states. Divya is Ontario, and obviously Domer is the wonderful states of the West, the CAPS organization. So dear friends, tell us a little bit about CAPS and how it works in the beautiful country of Canada and why it's such an exciting organization to be part of.
It's a coast-to-coast organization that runs through 6 chapters. So all the way from the Atlantic up until BC. And we focus a lot of our vision on competition, education, and promoting sommelier and the profession of the wine professional. So it's been a growing organization, and to this day, some chapters have north of 300 members, and where I'm from, very small chapter, about 60 members, and our newest chapter in Alberta with about close to 100 members. So,
well, congratulations, it's growing. So why are the funds from JCB Unity important to CAPS?
Well, it definitely helps promote our wine industry, and what it needs to, we need a lot more, I guess, exposure, and we need more talent, to keep this beautiful industry going. And thank you again for this great initiative, and looking forward to doing more initiatives with your company.
Well, we're thrilled because, JCB Unity stems from unity, diversity, hope, and acceptance of others, whatever the choice of religion, the inheritance of the skin color, to the sex preference, or anything people want to do, it's fine, because wine is at the epicenter. And we want to encourage really everybody to come to this fabulous world of wine through this beautiful beverage. So let's go to Domer, who is obviously, again, from a very unique background. Domer, you were telling us that your family did not drink wine, and here you are running one of the leading clubs in Canada.
Yeah, I mean, growing up in a Filipino household, it was never having wine on the table, like most cultures. It was church on Sunday, and the wine industry, or sorry,
Dallas, don't they drink the blood of Christ?
Yeah, but never at the dinner table. So it was kind of something out of the ordinary for me. And then waiting tables at a young age while I was in school, I really fell in love with the whole concept of this fruit making such magical juice in the end, right? So, and I never looked back.
And it was not forbidden fruit, because obviously you tasted it and you became a better person thanks to it.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And strict family, you tell them, okay, I'm quitting university to learn more about wine. It was kind of like, you're crazy. But in the end, they love me, and they still do, right? So,
well, that's because you're charming and you have a beautiful hairstyle as well. That really helps with a lot of elegance, running this Manitoba oldest club you see on the west coast of Canada.
In Western Canada, yeah, since 1874.
That's amazing. Well, Divya, you represent as well this amazing potential as a woman, having been into finance. Then you said, forget the spreadsheet, forget the return on investment, forget all of that. I want to be in the world of wine. So what happened?
So my journey started, I can remember what instigated exactly my love of wine. So in 2000, my husband and I were in Italy on our honeymoon, and we brought back a bottle of Brunello as a souvenir, and we kind of put it away. So that 2010, it must have been a 2005 release, 2006, and we put it away for a while. And then it was New Year's Eve 2010. We opened that bottle, and my God, it was the first time that it took me back to that trip 10 years previously. And it was such an almost cerebral experience. And it was the first time where I actually had a glass of anything that made me think. And that triggered, a desire in me to learn more about wine. So I started taking WSET courses as more of a hobby. I spent 24 years in the financial services industry. So a bit more of a traditional corporate role. And then last year I had the opportunity, I actually got laid off from my job, and I took a step back and I said, you know what, I don't think I want to go back and do that. I really want to do something. Now's my chance to do something that I love, that I'm passionate about. And I just passed my WSET Level 3. So I decided to start my own wine consulting business and share that love and passion and discovery of new bottles with other people.
So how do you recommend to all the women who are listening today to take that risk, that leap of faith? Because that takes, after 24 years of habits and routine, as well, consistency of income, to say, what the hell, hence the wings behind me, I'm going and flying into other horizon and getting into the wine world. I mean, that takes a lot of, daring, audacity.
Yeah, a lot of that comes with experience and age. And but I think the key factors for me, the support of my family. And I've come to realize through this is that skills are transferable across industries. So a lot of the skills I spent years developing in the corporate world, managing budgets, building relationships, networking, how to run an operation, I have been able to take that experience and that skill set to help me launch my own entrepreneurial business and build relationships with a new set of customers and vendors in the wine world.
And how is your business going as a consultant now in that space?
And it's growing. It's slow and steady. It takes a lot of hustle. There's good days and there are bad days, but I sleep at night knowing I'm doing something that I really love, and I feel that my customers and my clients feel that passion. And I have no regrets about the choices I've made.
And with a glass of wine every day, anyhow, you sleep much better than ever before, right? It's better than a
For sure. And it helps that I started this post-COVID as the world is opening up and people are really trying to engage and have that sense of community and socialization again. It's been helpful.
For sure. And don't we see, and that's a question for the both of you, a lot more women in the wine world, not just in winemaking or production or sales, but as well in other services, right?
Definitely.
Yes, for sure. Go ahead, Dylan.
Especially in competition as well. The Best Sommelier of British Columbia just happened, and they had a record of female competitors, and a female won this year. And it's great to see that you're seeing more and more females putting their foot in to compete and go toe to toe with some of the best sommeliers in their province and chapter.
That's right. And Domer, in your world, do you attract a lot more ladies, and do they feel confident more and more to come to the space of wine?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
And Divya, for you as well, in your consulting space, and how you attract women and bring women into the wine world, you've seen growth in that too.
Yes, most definitely. I think women are one of the growing consumers of wine consumption. I think they're starting to make a lot more of their own purchasing decisions. And one of the initiatives that we're really excited, particularly CAPS Ontario with JCB Unity, is trying to identify what are some of the barriers for women and how can we help support them to overcome those barriers of being able to enter the wine world. And I think consumers across the board, not just in the wine world, but in any industry, are holding, whether it's producers, restaurants, shops, etc., accountable to ensure that the staff reflect the diverse communities that we all live in.
And exactly, thank you for stressing on that. In terms of diverse, Domer, you said so, from the Philippine non-drinking family. How should we continue to attract more people? And sales in the Philippines are growing, as you know, people are drinking more and more wines.
Mhm.
The diverse palate is incredible as Filipinos, thanks to your great food and sensory. So how do we do more of that? What's your recommendation for all of us to attract, again, more of those population that we're not drinking wine?
I think you said it. I mean, wine is so beautiful, and with all the cuisines all over the world, and with that science of food and wine pairing, I think that's a great way to showcase what wine is all about. You know, whether it's Filipino food, and or if it's Caribbean food or West African food, I'm sure you'll be able to find a wine or several wines that can go hand in hand with the specific dishes from that region. And I think that's a great way to kind of promote wine and encourage that wine isn't just a juice that'll get you drunk, but it's a beautiful art, and it's a science as well.
And how do we all recommend to bring more, diverse groups into the wine world to taste wines? I mean, what's your thought there when you think about the Philippines, you think about many other countries? What's your thought using wines like this to bring more of us into that space?
I think the initial step is, with this initiative, getting more diverse individuals in the industry to act as role models for the future and for the next generation of BIPOC industry employees that want a career in wine.
Well said. Divya, any comment on that as well that you can think of?
No, I think Domer hit on it. I think the wine is just more than something you sip on or you drink to get drunk. It can deliver an experience, and having diverse communities that can pair foods or wines with diverse foods. I mean, traditionally it used to be you'd only see wine lists at a steakhouse or at an Italian restaurant or a French restaurant. Now being able to have wine options with Indian food, with Filipino food, with Asian food, certain foods that, I mean, I come from an Indian household where it was, you had spicy curry, you drank beer. Wine was never an option. And I think also we're learning about wines are coming from all over the world and not just Italy, France, those classic traditional old world countries. You're seeing a whole variety of indigenous grapes now hitting international markets. So it's really, wine is on the global scale, and the sommelier community, through initiatives like JCB Unity, are catching up to reflecting that global footprint.
Thank you for saying that. And how do Indian food is amazing with wine, I would like to say. I mean,
yes, it is.
We have as well a joint venture in India with a wine named Jenoon, with the Sikri family. And we absolutely so impressed with the quality of the wine and the pairing with the food. And it's a question for the both of you. How do you recommend we push more with sommelier the understanding of trials and taste with all those sensory food that are full of diverse flavors?
I think it's just having greater variety on wine lists in restaurants. You don't just have to stick to your 6 classic noble varieties. Try something like natural wines. Those are growing in popularity. They have some of them can have a certain fun. Try an indigenous variety from a country like India now that is becoming a winemaking nation. China, which is now becoming a winemaking nation. Being able to try wines from where they're made with the cuisine that comes from that country, why not? Like they say, what grows together goes together. So
yeah, the growing I feel is very important, as well as the suggestion in the pairings often. So let's use chicken marsala as an example. Wow, daunting. What am I going to have with that kind of sauce, right? So I think as well, having all of you as great professional somms really advising us what to have. So I think a very obvious correlation between the food and the wines. Same with Thai food. Wine goes very well if you pair it correctly. Same with food from the Philippines, right, Domer? What's your recommendation in terms of how we could do that maybe tomorrow in a different way than we do it today?
I guess it's encouraging the local restaurants that specialize in cultural cuisine to have more of a focus on selling wine as well. Whether it's higher, maybe it's too small a restaurant to hire a sommelier, but maybe it's a local sommelier that's coming in to give their expertise and working pro bono to offer these selections of wine that go well with their cuisine. Like, I'll come into a Filipino restaurant and say, hey, you should bring this JCB Pomard Arvelet Premier Cru, and it'll pair well with the chicken adobo or something like that,
Yeah.
Love it. I'm getting hungry here.
And I try to do the same in my capacity. I operate a wine club. So when I send out the bottles, I always include food pairing suggestions so that people have an idea of, okay, let me give this a try with whatever I've recommended. And so they may like it, they may not, but at least they can say they've tried it.
That's right. What do you think we should be doing on the page of diversity and unity, which are 2 very big themes for all of us and very dear to our heart, that we haven't done that should be done today to wake up people within this world?
Oh, if we had the answer to that, we wouldn't be having this conversation, perhaps. I think it's just encouraging. I think it starts with the youth, for having people understand that there is career opportunity here, that there is a path, that how do you become a sommelier? What are some of the advantages and the career rewards that can come with it? And providing those opportunities. So whether it's through scholarships, whether it's through mentoring, I think having more mentorship. As Domar said, a big part of what CAPS does across the country is competition. So how do we support, mentor, provide training for diverse members of the community to succeed in those competitions, whether it's preparing them for the service part of the competition, helping them do trial competitions, etc., so that they're set up for success, to have that recognition and grow their careers in this industry.
That's great. Yeah, thank you. Very helpful. What about you, Domer? Anything on this topic before I ask you the last exciting questions?
You know what, I think with CAPS, we have put in a big focus on, with regards to any bursaries, scholarships, or contests we've promoted in the past. We have geared more towards selecting, someone who is either a female or of BIPOC background, just to kind of encourage more diversity in the pool. So it's not just, the usual 10 white guys that are aiming for the scholarship that always win all the time kind of deal. So, yeah. which is nothing wrong, but it's nice to kind of
Of
get
course.
the word out and to see to see to show that there's more out there, for sure.
No, I love it. So this is great. Thank you so much. So the both of you, as a final question, define your passion and how you could put it to change the world tomorrow, as you're doing today.
Ooh, good question.
Divya already used it in some ways because she's doing her passion, but I know it's a big question, but within.
Yeah, I think for me, it's how I started. I used to go to my local LCBO every weekend and buy the same 2 or 3 bottles that I knew I liked and stuck to that and drank only those bottles for years and years and years. And through this journey, I've come to discover new regions and new grapes that I've fallen in love with. So that's what I'm trying to do is change people's palates one glass at a time by just broadening their horizons to discover the world, because it really is, to me, wine is the drink of the world.
Well said. And for you, Domer?
You know what? If I had a reality TV show that just documented and followed my life and millions of viewers would watch it, I think they'd see and appreciate the love and passion I have for not only my industry, but for wine, and how much it plays a big part in my life, not only at work, but also at home with my friends now, and just shows the big impact passion of wine can do to someone. So we'll just have to find a big network channel to fund it. So maybe Bravo.
They're going to listen today and they're going to give you a call. Well, thank you both for sharing your passion.
Thank you.
Thank you both for, being engaged with JCB Unity, because it's a unique cause and all of us need to be behind it from every part of the world. And I was the only one tasting the wines today. I'm afraid it's too early for you to drink it, but hopefully tonight you'll pop that cork.
Oh, most definitely.
Will do.
So thank you again, and congratulations for all what you do, and encourage sommelier as well in the wine world and more wine drinkers from diverse groups. So cheers, dear friends, and to soon, and to making a difference together. Cheers.
Thank you.